The public career of Betty Maina has occasionally been accompanied by administrative controversies, particularly during her tenure in government. One of the most notable incidents occurred in 2020 when the High Court nullified her appointment of 5 members to the Business Premises Rent Tribunal. The court ruled that the process used in the appointments was flawed and lacked transparency because it had not been subjected to public participation and did not observe the constitutional two-thirds gender rule. The decision was widely discussed in policy and legal circles and became one of the most visible disputes associated with her administrative decisions. Criticism also emerged in 2022 as she exited the cabinet. Analysts pointed out that during her leadership of the industrialization docket, Kenya's manufacturing sector experienced a steady decline in its contribution to the country's gross domestic product. For 5 consecutive years, the sector's share slipped to below 7.6%, far short of the government's long-standing goal of raising manufacturing's contribution to 15% of GDP. Although such economic outcomes depend on many complex factors beyond a single ministry, the performance nonetheless became part of the public debate about her time in office. Another issue that frequently caused confusion in the public sphere involved the mixing of her identity with that of another politician with a very similar name, Betty Njeri Maina. Several controversies circulating in Kenyan media and social media, including leaked audio recordings in 2025, political clashes between the woman representative and Rigathi Gachagua, and claims regarding employment letters allegedly distributed through political channels, were often mistakenly associated with the former cabinet secretary, despite involving the other politician. Despite these controversies, Betty Maina built a long and influential career spanning more than 3 decades across civil society, the private sector, international development, and government. She later transitioned into the private consulting sector and currently serves as the East Africa Director at Genesis Analytics. Betty Maina was born in Murang'a County in Kenya, although the precise details of her early life and exact birth date have largely remained private. Based on her university graduation timeline, she is believed to have been born in the mid-1960s. She spent her childhood in Murang'a and attended local schools where she demonstrated strong academic ability from an early age. Her pursuit of higher education began at the University of Nairobi, where she studied land economics between 1985 and 1988. Upon completing her studies, she graduated with a Bachelor of Arts degree in the field. Nearly a decade later, she expanded her academic training internationally when she enrolled at University College London. Between 1997 and 1998, she earned a Master of Science degree in Development Administration and Planning, a program that focused on governance, economic policy, and development management. In addition to her formal university degrees, Maina undertook specialized professional training in several institutions around the world. These included budgeting and financial management training at Harvard University, anti-corruption strategy programs at the World Bank, policy development courses at Strathmore University, and gender planning training at University College London. These programs strengthened her expertise in governance, economic policy, and institutional management. Maina's professional career began in the early 1990s when she worked as a research assistant for UN Habitat. She later served as an assistant project officer at Shelter Afrique, an African housing and development finance institution. These early roles gave her experience in urban development, policy research, and international development programs. Her career expanded significantly when she joined the Institute of Economic Affairs, where she served as chief executive between 1997 and 2003. In this role, she was deeply involved in public policy research and advocacy, contributing to economic reform debates in Kenya. Maina later moved into the private sector and civil society leadership when she became Chief Executive Officer of the Kenya Association of Manufacturers in 2004. During her 11-year tenure, which lasted until 2015, she oversaw significant growth in the organization's membership and revenue, while advocating for policies designed to strengthen Kenya's manufacturing sector. Her expertise and leadership eventually led to appointments in government. In 2015, she joined the Kenyan Public Service as a principal secretary, serving in several key departments, including the State Department for East African Affairs, Investment and Industry, and Environment and Forestry. These roles placed her at the center of regional integration, trade policy, and industrial development initiatives. In 2020, she was appointed Cabinet Secretary for Industrialization, Trade, and Enterprise Development, a position she held until 2022. In this role, she was responsible for overseeing policies related to manufacturing, trade facilitation, and enterprise growth. Alongside these government roles, she also served on boards such as the Anti-Counterfeit Agency and the Afi Waterworks Development Agency. Her international engagement also expanded during her career. She served on global policy panels, including the United Nations High-Level Panel on the Post-2015 Development Agenda and the Africa Commission established by the Danish Prime Minister between 2008 and 2009. These positions involved contributing to global discussions about sustainable development and economic growth in Africa. In her personal life, Betty Maina has largely maintained privacy despite her high-profile career. She is currently married to Eric Wamumbi. The couple formalized their union in a traditional wedding ceremony known as a rurasio on November 18, 2023, in Murang'a County. The ceremony attracted significant public attention and was attended by prominent Kenyan political figures, including William Ruto, while Rigathi Gachagua served as the lead dowry negotiator. Before this marriage, Maina had previously been married when she was younger. She later described that relationship as incompatible, explaining that she had entered it while she was still young and inexperienced. Although the marriage ended in separation, she has maintained a cordial friendship with her former partner. She is also the mother of 2 children from that earlier marriage. In 2020, during parliamentary vetting for her cabinet secretary appointment, Maina publicly declared her net worth to be approximately Kenya shillings 117.5 million. At the time, her wealth was attributed to multiple sources accumulated throughout her career. She reported earning approximately Kenya shillings 30.2 million in salary and gratuity in 2015, along with Kenya shillings 3 million from consultancy services that same year. She also disclosed board allowances totaling Kenya shillings 160,000 in 2014 from her service on the boards of the Anti-Counterfeit Agency and Laikipia University. In addition, she listed farming as another source of income. Despite her prominent public roles, much about Betty Maina's personal life, particularly the details of her early upbringing and family background, remains intentionally private. However, she has occasionally shared glimpses of her family relationships, including a widely publicized gesture in which she built a multi-million Kenya shillings house for her parents as a way of honoring them and expressing gratitude for their support throughout her life.